Alrighty, y'all, headed to Prentice, Mississippi, which is, according to Google Maps, an hour and where I have to go, about an hour and 10 minutes away, for a Baldwin door rekey. Oh, hold on. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. For a Baldwin door rekey and 3 doors with profile cylinders. Prentice is down closer to Hattiesburg, and apparently he called a Hattiesburg locksmith, which there's not too many there. The real locksmiths that would know how to rekey a profile cylinder. There's probably plenty of unlockers. But apparently then the guy was like, yeah, it's 80 to come to Prentice, but I'm not gonna. And Prentice is only like maybe 30, 40 miles max from, not even that far from Hattiesburg. I don't know exactly how far it is from wherever that locksmith was to Prentice, but he quoted him $80 service charge. We quoted him $225 to come down from Jackson, which is a little light. Should be a little bit more because I don't really go an hour away, but it works, and we didn't have anything else scheduled. Well, I'll put it this way, we didn't have anything scheduled for today. He called for this like 3 days ago, and so I was just like, whatever, I'll do it, Thursday morning. As long as he can do it first thing. And we called and we were like, well, he'll have to be there at 8:30, and the guy was like, well, that's kind of rough. And we're like, no, that's like, if you want us to come Thursday 8:30, that's it. Take it or leave it, because we're making an exception to come an hour and 10-15 minutes away, making the whole round trip a 3-hour tour. 3-hour tour. 3-hour tour. So yes, I am setting off on a 3-hour tour. And if I had my wife and dogs with me and kid, then I would love to get lost on a deserted island while I was on this 3-hour tour. But I don't think that's going to happen. So I'm going down Highway 49, which is, we used to go to Florida like all the time. And 49 is the main road to get to both the coast, or Mississippi Gulf Coast, like when we're going to Ship Island. I did a thing on that last summer when we went to Ship Island. So very, very familiar with Highway 49. But I veer off of 49 before when I get to a town, like in Mendenhall or something, and I go down a little smaller highway. I've never actually been down that highway. I've never been to Prentice, Mississippi, which is just another, small town, Mississippi. Probably not much in there. Dude has a nice house though, so. Baldwin front door lock alone's a mortise lock with a really big fancy trim, so he's got a $1,200 door lock on his front door already, so I can see why he was just like, whatever, because if he tried to buy all this stuff himself, of course he could switch the cylinder and buy 3 new profile cylinders. Probably switch it all out himself, but whatever, I'm gonna make the drive. So I'll probably do a time lapse, because I know a couple of people have been like, we don't want to watch you driving, we want to see action. So tried to limit my driving and chatting videos as much as possible, even though, again, like I said, the biggest, most time-consuming part of being a locksmith is driving. So anyway, I'll probably time lapse a little bit of this. I'm gonna charge my phone. I'm just leaving the house. 6:50 a.m. That should put me there at 8, a little bit after 8. And so yeah, that's that's where I'm at this morning. So hopefully there will be no traffic issues along the way. So see ya. Prentice. Alright, y'all. I was afraid it was going to be CES. I knew it was 3 doors, but the double door, instead of using a dummy non-cylinder trim, they actually used key cylinder on each door. So 3 doors. It was supposed to be 1 per door. Ended up being 2 per. So we have 6 rekey, which I'm not real thrilled with. But I want to talk about the CES style of profile cylinder that many locksmiths consider a bane of their existence. There are 2 tricks with CES cylinders. The first trick is actually getting it out of this plastic cap. Is a snap-in cap, and this is one of the things that is really a huge pain in the ass to do. I'm going to show you when I get one out. Everybody's like, why are you using a shim that way, Jason? Well, I'll show you. I will show you. Shim. Sometimes this does not work, so we'll see. And shim. Kinda. Find your small screwdriver that is not small enough. In lieu of a small screwdriver, you can sometimes use just any pokey object and reach in and lift it out. And if these shims are in, it will greatly assist that spring cap from coming out. Now, ooh, okay, so homeboy that rekeyed the last time only did 2 pins. So these, you can buy replacements for these still, but you have to buy like 100. And if you look real close, let's hope the GoPro focuses. You see this little ridge, that little ridge. So there are 2 ways to get these back in. Before you put them back in, or right now, as soon as I'm taking it out, as you see, I'm kind of sticking this back of my tweezers in here to kind of give it a spread. Just don't want to crack it. And let's see if this homeboy really did what I think he did. There appears to be no, yep. Absolutely no. And I know why this happened. Because the last guy that came out, not many people understand these CES cylinders. You have to drop. Okay, those pins are not coming out, which is why I have a deep hook over here. Deep hook. So I'm going to push this out. Chamber 1, chamber 2. Chamber 1, come on out there. Come on, guys. Damn. There's 1. There's 2. Oh, there's 3. It's not going to reach. Let's push it down again. And I may have to spray some water better. Getting a pen stuck out of a mortar cylinder. May have to go drastic here. There it goes. Okay, we're out. Okay, 5 chambers clear. Okay, so when reassembling, you will need to drop your depths. So instead of a 5, use a 4. Instead of a 3, use a 2. So I'm going to look at this key. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this lock. Where do we have a mortar cylinder here? Let's go ahead and determine the cuts on the key with this. I mean, I just cut it yesterday. So I can't remember the cuts. Hey, at least he pinned that one right, huh? Okay guys, I was going ahead and doing the bottom cylinder, and I thought I'd show you this. We had all the pins were in the bottom cylinder, but check this out. Pin 1, spring, no pin, no pin. Pin 4, spring. Pin 5. If you guys are gonna freaking sell yourselves as a locksmith, which apparently is out of business now, I wonder why they're out of business. Because they didn't know how to rekey locks. You guys need to learn how to rekey locks. If you want to be a car locksmith, be a car locksmith, unlocking cars or whatever. Okay, so we got a jammed, and this is probably why he failed, because there is a jammed pin in here. I need my sharps. Hold on. So we dropped the top pin, but because this spring was stuck, didn't bother to extract it, which you cannot do. No telling whether or not he actually caused the problem initially, or if it was pre-existing and he just didn't want to deal with it. But at any time, this spring without the top pin could have gotten stuck. There it is, coming out. So yeah, that could have dropped down in the Bible and caused some problems. And they did this with 2 of them. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. So, yeah. Damn, I just dropped those pins. I'm going to, since I'm reloading top pins here, I'm going to throw a security pin there. By this time, I've already forgotten mostly what my cuts are for the bald one. Pretty sure I remember. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have to populate 5. I'm kind of worried about 5 too. No, I think 5 is clear. I may run out of springs on this damn job. Oh, let's do another spool. Make this bald one hard to pick. It's actually 7 pin. I'm gonna make sure that I did the right number of pins here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Yes. Try to salvage this. Damn, I didn't salvage it. Let's repin it real quick. Should have known better. Drop one with the bald one. And it works better. Well, that puppy sounds sad. I'm going to go ahead and populate this, dropping 1. So, look at my knee. Look at my knee. So that cut is dropped 1. This cut is dropped 1. This cut is dropped 1. And we have another drop. And lastly, we have the last 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and top pin it up. 4213. Go ahead and throw an anti-pick into each one. Just one. He's not really paying for that. Alright, so I'm going to shove all of them down. And I really wish I did have more springs, because I'm going to run out. Of springs. Let's go ahead and just populate this one, and then basically it's rinse and repeat. I may show you a couple more cap pulling offs to go over that, because again, that is the biggest thing. Second biggest thing being drop your pin heights by 1 on CES plastic cap cylinders. So before you put that cylinder in there, you definitely want to check your key. It only needs lube. And we are good. Take your cap, and it should snap in. Once I get it snapped in, grab my twister thing, which is kind of and again try the key. See how it's starting to come up. So the problem here lies in the fact that it has been taken off a couple of times by inexperienced people before, and it really could do for a new cap. And we're going to check our old key, but I highly doubt it's going to work. So there we go. We're going to rinse and repeat. What I sometimes will do is I'll get a soldering iron and I'll lightly run it in there, and that'll melt it out. Another thing you can do is just kind of, well, I've got a tool to do this. You could do it also with anything else, but this will kind of crimp it on the ends. Not enough to cause problems next time, but enough to hold it down while you're inserting your key. So, one down. Actually, two down, counting the ball now. And what I'll do now is I will go ahead and pull all the caps, see how bad we are with missing pins and springs. Y'all might They sport gigantic cross. They're pretty dang packed as well. We're gonna do it. We are gonna do it by the giganormous cross. Spots, but not overly busy.